We're going to start. All right. Okay, it is April 6th. We're here on our monthly call. We've got a group of our directors, and we've got a small group tonight, but we have some fun and exciting things to share with our new consultants. We had 181 new consultants join our group last month of March. So we're super excited to welcome all of you, and we are kind of going to focus our call tonight, focused on them. So if you're an oldie, you can still listen because you might get some new ideas of things that you might not do in your business, from some basic labeling stuff to, you know, some possibility packet ideas, things like that. So we're really excited to have you watching. This is pre-recorded, so you're not watching live. But we're excited to be here. So we're going to start with your starter kit. In your starter kit, you get your starter kit, and it's so fun to open up your starter kit. The one thing that I remember about when I first joined was, well, the packet was a lot different back then. I just got my testers, and I had some catalogs, and I had one warmer, and I believe there were some order forms. I think that was it. But it was a lot of fun to go through and smell all the scents. So there's lots of different ways you can organize your scents. So let's talk about that a little bit first. I'll show mine first. So I have this bag. It's an old bag. It's like one of the cooler bags, so it keeps it cool if it gets in the car or whatever. But I have just little organza bags that I got online, and I put a little, just, it's, what's that paper called? The hard paper. Oh my gosh. It's 9 o'clock at night, huh?
The laminated?
No, you could laminate it. Cardstock. Oh my
Cardstock.
Cardstock. Wow. But I just put whatever category it is because I like to be able to look at my catalog and look at the category that I'm shopping in, right? So here we are with your catalog, and I'm going to look at my new releases. Well, I would just go find my new release bag, and I'd pull my new release bag out, and all of these scents would be in this bag. So it makes it really easy for your customers that are smelling the scents to be able to find those scents, because when they're all together, it could be, I mean, there's over 80 of them, so it can be super overwhelming of, okay, well, which color is this wax? Well, let's find that color of wax. So it just kind of makes it smaller. You still kind of have to do that with these, with the colors. You have to kind of look and see and pull out the right scent that you want to smell. But that's a good way to organize your testers so that you can keep them separate and be able to, when you're trying to sell, like if someone asks you for a really clean scent, you would think, okay, well, I know there's some clean linen, something cotton. You could quickly look in the catalog and you say, oh, it's in this bag, and then you pull your bag out and you show them the scent. So that's a fun way to do it. How do you guys do your testers any other way? I don't use the big party testers anymore because they're really big and bulky. I prefer the little mini testers.
So I have the bag that you get with all your testers, your mini testers, and I don't put them in an insulated bag because it keeps me accountable. I know that if I leave them in the car, they're going to melt. So I have to take this bag into the store with me. And I just put it on my wrist and carry it around. And everybody thinks that they're lip glosses, so they're always like, oh, why do you have all those lip glosses for? So it starts a conversation right off the bat when people see it. So for me, it's accountability. But I don't do anything cute like you did, Lindsay. I just throw them all in here, and I go, it's blue. Let me look at the blue one.
That works. It works for you, though, right? I mean, that's great.
So I have been focusing on home parties, and I like to separate mine into bins. So I have everything separated into bins, but in my basket party, I totally just do the new release season. So if it's the fall, winter, I just separate those because most of the time that's what people, for me, being in a local area, most of the time that's what they're looking for is the brand new stuff.
Yeah.
But if they, I mean, I can usually find it, but I try to keep it simple. Then it helps me stay accountable too on getting to know the names, because I found that I wasn't getting familiar with a lot of the names. So I just continue to go back. Oh my gosh, this is one of my favorite. This is Southern Evening. It's a brand new one. Or, oh my gosh, if you love that, you would love Perfectly Pomegranate. Hold on, I know it's red, and then I can kind of carry on conversation and just get to know them a little bit, like through talking about the scents, because being around for a while, I have like some of these, it's like, oh, Sunkissed Citrus. If you like a citrus smell, it's been around for 8 years. It's been here since I've been here, or or just different scents like baked apple pie. I know that's a tannish colored one, and then they start searching though too, and they might find other ones. Like, you'd be surprised how many people are searching for vanilla bean buttercream and actually like, blonde wood and moonflower, because it's the same color, but they wouldn't necessarily think that they would go for something like that. So it's kind of helped me sell some of the products, making them kind of dig through them a little bit too. But I too do a lot of mini testers. I know a lot of my new people though really do like the full size ones still.
Yeah. They definitely have more wax in them. So people think, oh, well, you can smell it better. I don't know if that's true or not. A lot of times I'll find that if I can't smell it, I'll just rub my finger on it, on the wax, and then it kind of takes a little layer off, so you can actually...
Yeah, they say it opens the wax pores, is what I was actually told. There's a technical term, because I do the same thing.
I just do that, open the wax pores, I guess. So that's good. Veronica, what do you do with yours?
I carry them the way Shauna does, in the bag, and they're kind of all mixed up. But at my parties, I use that Like It, Love It checklist, which I don't have one right now with me, but I, like Bree said, sometimes when they smell different scents, they realize that they liked a different one, so it opens them up to something different, because a lot of people are like, oh, I just like vanilla, and then they smell sweet cucumber, and they're like, oh my God, this is amazing, and so they end up buying a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't have anything fancy. I do use the mini testers. I don't use the big testers anymore, because like you said, it's harder to carry them around.
Right.
But I do just kind of have them all in the bag, and that's pretty much what I have. Even for my basket parties, that's how I do it.
Nice. Shauna, you had the Like It, Love It? Yeah.
There you go. So I made this. It's on flyers by Shauna. You guys can join the group. And it just has all the little checklists of the scents. And then on the back, I printed it with the oils. So
those are great.
Yeah. What I do with those Like It, Love It lists is I tell them to hang on to it. And then I put my information on there so that they can call me once they need refills, and they already know what they like, so they don't necessarily have to go back and smell all the testers again. So I made the mistake of, I was holding it onto it for them. And then I had all these papers, and they were calling me like, hey, what were the scents that I liked? And I was like, oh my God, and I had to go back and look. So that was a huge mistake.
So you don't keep a copy of it at all? You just let them keep it and it's in their hands?
Yeah.
That's good. I have a lot of customers that will put it in their phone, like in their notes. They'll put all their favorites in their phone, which I was like, that's a great idea too.
Or they could take a picture of it.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yeah.
Okay, we kind of got ahead of ourselves because we're so excited to chat with all of you and share our new ideas. In your starter kit, you get this Welcome to Scentsy little big. It's not little. Can you see it very well? On the front, it talks about starting with a goal. So everybody, you have your different reasons for joining the business. Some people want to pay off a car. Some people want to just buy the products and use them themselves and get a good deal. Some people want to let their husband quit their job. Whatever the case may be, everybody has a different goal. So it's important to remember that when you're going about your business. The number 2 thing, it says, get ready to party. That talks about doing a launch party, which if you haven't thought about doing a launch party, it's something that is very, very beneficial. I highly recommend doing one in person. If you're big on social media or you have a lot of family out of town, you can definitely incorporate those people into your party by shooting an email with a link that you can share through the party order system. And getting the products in front of the people is really key when you're starting up, because they may see it online, but if they can experience it, it's different. So it's definitely really beneficial to actually have a launch party where people, you can make it super casual, just come over for an open house type thing, or make it super formal where they come over and you kind of give them a spiel, go through the catalog and talk about all the cool things, because that's good practice too. And especially if they're your friends that you're inviting or neighbors, they're going to be willing to support you and come support you through that. I
do want to add too, kind of as far as the launch party, like making sure you plan it out. Don't just think today you could plan it for 4 or 5 days and that it's going to be successful. I made sure that I did a full 2 weeks of planning. I went to all of my neighbors. It was a great way to introduce myself and say, hi, I'm, Brianna Katzenberger. I live right around the corner from you. I sell Scentsy. It's this awesome product. I'd love for you to come. Just show up and I'll give you a scent circle, or something to get them in the door. And I ended up having a $1,200 launch party, but you have to plan it out. You have to plan, you call and invite everybody, you follow up with them, send out the postcards. People have to be reminded, because a lot of times if they don't come, it's because they totally spaced it. So, I always recommend opening a Facebook one, but then give people incentive to come, like that you're going to do a drawing for something, and it could be a free scent circle. I mean, you can't post that on social media, but do something, because you are your own host, right? So you can use some of those rewards to offset, not have to have any of the money come out of your pocket for some of the things that you could do for your closest friends and family that are going to be your best customers and your best advocates for your business.
One thing I like to add for that too is that there is no wrong way to do a party. I know that a lot of consultants, it might be a little scary, but I remember my launch party, I kind of just put the testers on the table and I was smelling them with them because I was getting familiarized with the product myself. So as they were asking questions, I totally was like, you know what, I'm sorry, this is my first party. Let me look up to see what package that is or what page that's on. But just to remember to have fun. And that's pretty much what the main thing that I like to tell a new consultant.
And never fear telling them you don't know. Like, you know what? I don't know. Hold on. Let me talk to my upline really quick. I can text her, or if she's there with you, like people would rather you say, actually, I have no idea. This is my first party and I'm just getting going. So, and they're like, thank you for being so honest. Like they prefer you just to sit and have fun, that it doesn't have to be scary. You don't have to be this like Scentsy guru right off the bat and even know, like what's in your wax? Honestly, I have no idea what's in my wax. Hold on. Let me look it up. Like, who knows?
Right. I like that. Do you have anything to add to that, Shauna?
I think it's just be yourself and have fun. It's your launch party. It's the launch of this new and exciting adventure that you're going to be on, and have fun with it. Don't stress yourself out and just be yourself. I didn't have like a formal party. I live in a military community and I just moved in here. I knew absolutely nobody, but I went and introduced myself and I had an open house style, and it was nice because people could come and go through this time period. And then I got to actually talk with them and build that relationship with them right then. And then, some of them have been with me since then. So
that's awesome.
Just be yourself.
Okay, so once you have your launch party scheduled and you've figured out when you're going to have it, you're going to send out some invitations. You get invitations in your starter kit, so you definitely want to use the hard ones, because there's something about having an actual invitation to something that makes it more formal, where people really appreciate that. We've kind of, as a society, we have really gotten away from that, well, in the U.S. at least. And so it's interesting how when I get invited to a party and I actually get an invitation, it's like, yeah, I want to go to that party, right? There's just something different about it, where it's a virtual invite versus an actual invite. It definitely like raises the bar a little bit. So you definitely want to use those. So we're going to move into a little bit about, preparing for your launch party. These are some ideas of ways you can label your catalogs, even your invitations. Like, what could you put on your invitation that would give it this wow factor that people would really want to come? And talking about how you can, at your party, just different little things that you can do to make it unique. Like Bree had mentioned, doing some sort of incentive for coming, like a free gift for them coming. And you can make it super simple, like a sample of the wax, which we'll talk about that too. So let's start with the labeling of your catalogs and marketing material. What do you guys do? I mean, we get these generic business cards that you can print them off, and you can or you can even just print labels off and slap a label on it. That is a great first time business card to use that. But what are some other ways that you label your products? We'll start with Bree.
Well, to begin with, I love the new boxes because they have the pictures on the front, and I put my label right down on the front also, so that my label's also here. The other thing that I just learned tonight, thanks to Lindsay, is that you can bust open the bottom of your box very carefully, because it's a great idea to also label the bottom of your warmers, so that when they toss the box, they still have your name on the bottom of their warmer, but that you can open your box, because I don't like this looking open. So if you just open, you slide this, it pops right open. I can't do it one-handed. But
now that looks like it was open, Bree. You better watch out.
Okay, I did it because you told me to, and I was like, is that really that easy to open, okay?
It totally is.
But I do. I totally label the front of my boxes right in the corner so that everything's labeled in the same corner. I try to be as uniform as possible, but they just see, it looks professional. It's a great place. You can also do it. A lot of people do it right on the lid of the box. I also include in my box, I put a business card. I have the punched business cards where you can.
Do you just slide it in this little hole?
Yes, I just slide it in because I have never wanted to open my boxes. So
yeah, I actually mine. And I put mine on this. I put a label in here too, even the big warmers, and then I put my business card in it as well. And then I close it up and do it.
And then you have a box been
open. And my box has been open. That's right. I checked. And a lot of times I've had where I didn't check the light bulb, and I have had, I've been doing this.
Broken.
This happened twice, okay? So it doesn't happen very often, but where I saw that the light bulb was the light bulb that was in the bubble wrap was broken inside. So checking that is also a good idea. It takes time, right? And you have an open box, but that's an option as well. But I like putting my business card in here because you never know who's going to actually end up with this warmer, right? It could be a gift for someone. It could be, you just never know where it could be a teacher's. You just never know where it's going to end up. So it's always good to put your business card in for sure. If you're just going to slide it in, that's great too. But labeling the bottom of the warmer, Shauna, will you tell your story about that?
Labeling when I never labeled the bottom of a warmer. I always just did the box. And when I was in Idaho visiting my family, we went to a thrift store and I found a Scentsy warmer sitting there, and I looked at it and it had somebody's label on it it looked old. It was an old warmer, so it had been on there for a long time, but it was kind of cool because the next person who bought that, they already had their consultant.
Right.
So.
That's awesome. What about you, Veronica? What are your labeling? How do you label your catalogs and stuff that your customers or your guests are going to take home?
Well, I use these for the product list, and I just put my label down here. And sometimes
do those come in the starter kit?
I have no idea. I don't know what they get. I don't know if they get the product list or the catalogs. I'm not sure.
I think they just get catalogs.
Oh, okay. Well, in my catalogs, I just put my label right here. I don't know if you can see that. But it just has my name, my website, my email address, and my phone number. And so that's pretty much all I do. Sometimes I'll put like the scent of the month sticker on there or a join sticker, but this one did not have it. But that's pretty much what I do. I just keep it simple. Because now with Scentsy, they put the join sticker on here. So it's already on there. They can join for $99. So that's how I label my catalog.
That's all I do on mine too. I just put it on the back. Right there. Also, I like to, if you haven't, the warmer and scent of the month kit that Scentsy offers is a great marketing opportunity for you to get new scents in people's noses. But they have flyers. Sorry, I'm reaching for my flyers. They have flyers that you can put in there as well. So a lot of times for my parties, I will load this up because this is what they're going to get, okay? They're going to get this, and you're going to want to put this in there, the scent warmer of the month. And then I also put the door prize drawing card. I'll put one of those in there, and I will put my business card in there. That like it, love it, I'll put that in there as well. And if it's in the fall, I'll put like the harvest catalog or the holiday collection catalog in there. Scentsy also has a hostess brochure and a join brochure that depending on the party, I'll put it in there or not. It just depends. Sometimes I'll just give them to people at the end when we're checking out as hey, if you want to host a party, here's some information. And here's some information about joining too. I would love to have you join my team. Yeah, type of thing. But this is like marketing central for you. Putting a little packet together, and even if you have a little clipboard that you want to put on it, or even just like a big, yes, Bree has her clipboard right there that you can put in it. Yeah, there you go. That's it. She's got it right there, all ready to go. And your order form, duh, you have to have an order form in there. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the clipboards because it never fails that you're looking for books or something for people to write on when they're sitting at a home party. So obviously doing the catalogs are great if you're doing a basket party too, because you're not going to send a bunch of your clipboards. But I do love the clipboards. I haven't even taken the cellophane off because I really like the cellophane until it starts falling off. I've just left them on.
You don't like,
but they seem like
we know that.
Yeah, I know. Neither does Janine Giles. She's on this call, and she's the reason we both talked about this.
That's so funny.
I don't know why, but it's a weird, like, I just try, like, I have my own set of stuff that I show all the time, and I don't open my other stuff.
Really? That's awesome.
But yes, I do. I have the Who Wants to Party, and then I also have a join brochure.
Yeah.
And if they also, I mean, I go through those like nobody's business. When I bag up their party, I also stick both of those in there with a note. Laura Burns is really good about this too, but I post a note in there that says, you helped Lindsay Bates earn $530 in free product just for your purchase. Thank you so much, or whatever. Like, yeah, I know you had a killer party for me.
Holy crap.
But when you think about like all the half price items, you have a $500 or $600 party. When you add up all the product that you get, it's like she got $530 for $119, or something. Like, you really put it out there for them to see.
Yeah.
If you'd ever like to host a party or even join, it's one of the funnest things. It's one of the most fun things I've ever done. Like, party with me for a living. You can never, like, the one thing that I cannot remember who even said it, but you cannot discriminate against who might be your next hostess or who might be your next business partner, because I have been one to say, oh, they would never want to do that. Oh, they would never. And then they now sell under me and are some of my best downline because they're like, hey, I'll do it. It'll be fun, or whatever. But you want to just offer the opportunity and offer both a hosting opportunity and a selling opportunity to anybody that comes in your path with Scentsy.
Yeah, I like that. So you get a bunch of other products in your starter kit as well. In talking about labels, the Scentsy Family Store, in your workstation, you go to order, and then you can click on a Scentsy order or a Scentsy Family Store order. If you click on the Scentsy Family Store order, they have these sheets of labels. Let me pull mine out. Oh, those are my address ones. 1, 2. They have these sheets of labels that you can use. They have big ones that are kind of more, I don't know what size that is, like a 1x2-ish. And then they have smaller ones that are more horizontal. They're great for labeling everything that you have product-wise and marketing material-wise that comes through your door. Another thing that you could do that's super easy if you're just starting out and you might not have enough money. Sorry, you're going to see I'm getting in my cupboard up here. are these great Avery labels. These are super fabulous. I used these when I first started for the longest time. I think I actually even have some in my little folder here. No, I can't dig them out. But super simple. All you want to put on them is your name, your phone number, your email, and your website. 4 things, super easy. Your name, your phone number, your email, and your website. So your lbates.scentsy.us, whatever you chose as that. But you'll want to put them on everything that comes through your door. Any product, any marketing material, anything that's going to go out the door, because you never, like we said earlier, you never know where it's going to end up. So in talking about labeling, what are some ways that you guys label the product that you get your starter kit? You've got bars that come in, room sprays.
So we got the bars right here. I like the way it looks on the outside. It's so pretty. So I label the inside of it. That way people open it. They have 1 cube left. My name is right there. They can see it. They can call me and say, oh my gosh, I need more of this.
Let me see your label. Put it up super close.
I printed it myself.
That's great. See? Super cute. Creative.
Avery is the easiest way to print labels in the world. I love Avery.
And they're definitely a lot cheaper than buying them through the Scentsy family store. So.
But I've also had where somebody's bought a bar from me, or somebody that I didn't build that relationship with, they just came and bought a bar, left, whatever it was. And if they didn't like the bar, they sold it or gave it away, or they gave it away as a present. And I've had those people call me and be like, we've never met, but I have a bar with your name on it. So I needed some more of this. So that's why this is the number one thing. First thing I do when I get my orders is label. So
some people label on the outside. I've had some people talk about how they move their label every catalog season so that they know, okay, this bar needs to get moved first, or this bar can hang on to this a little bit longer because I've got one that's older, so I need to get that out of here sooner, type of thing. I've seen people where they label on the bottom, where they will put the label on the bottom of the warmer, looks like a warmer, of the bar. And like Shauna was saying, some people put it on the front. I think it looks super cute like this, so I do it on the inside as well. And my
I do mine on the outside, Lindsay. Like this.
Yours does on the outside. See, there we go.
Yeah, that's because I do want them to see it at Scentsy, but I also want them to see my name.
Yes.
So that's, that's.
Yep. That's good. Well, and I have to point it out to my customers, like when I'm doing events and things, I always say, my information's on the inside, so when you need more, you can just open it up and call me. So pointing that out is important too.
Honestly, the only reason I've never done it on the outside is there was so much a few years ago about not covering up any of Scentsy's information because it's proprietary to the outside and then you're changing the image. But it was also such a hoopla about covering up any, because the warning labels are on the inside. So that's where I think people started doing the bottom of the bars. I do mine on the inside because, again, I like them to look the same, and there's no way for my 5-year-old, who is the one who helps me label them, there's no way for her to make them straight on the outside. I've done them on the outside before. The new bars have a perfect place to put, I mean, like Veronica, I've done them, but I do like them to be very straight and uniform. So when McKenna does my labeling, she can do them crooked on the inside.
Then when she gets older, you can make her do them straight or you won't pay her. That's what I do with my kids. I'm like, it's not straight. I'm not going to pay you for a crooked label.
But you know what? I've had some crooked labels too that my daughter does, and it actually gets me to start into the recruiting conversation. Saying, well, my daughter helps me with my business. They're a little crooked, but I took her to the dollar store to buy a toy, and they're like, oh, wow, your daughter helps you? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, she does. That's cute.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, so.
Mine are old enough. They know better.
Well, she's 4, so she's in training.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, and they just want to help you, right? Like they just,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, some of my bars have 2 labels.
Yeah.
That's all right. It is what it is. That's
Well,
right.
now she'll only label the pink one, so we're,
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, that's a good one too to say. You'll notice the pink bars are different. You know, I mean, it's cool. Like to.
That's so great. I love it.
I do label my room sprays. I label them up the side. I line it up on the bottom. You know, so then you can see my business information. I love room sprays. They're kind of the golden thing that we have. You know, not a lot of people know about them, so I try to have those out a lot too, so they can see. You know, some of our less popular stuff. I label all of my groom line, scent circle. I think I have a scent circle. Let me get a scent circle.
I've got mine right here.
Oh, you do?
I do mine. No,
Yeah.
show me do yours because I've done mine differently. I put them on the well, basically, these once they pull the product out of the packaging, these get tossed.
Yeah, that's so. Where do you do it?
Kind of.
Yeah.
I still do it. I don't know why. But I put mine underneath on the inside so they can see it through here.
Mine are on the back, on the bottom.
And see, I've done it on the back, on the bottom too. Yeah, I've done it that way too. I know they get tossed, but they can, for those that aren't opened, if they get a 6-pack or something, they'll see it and they'll be like, oh yeah, that's her information. I need to remember that. Or maybe they'll keep it so they have my information. How do you guys do your other stuff, Shauna and Veronica?
For my scent packs and circles, I do it on the bottom just like you did, Lindsay. But you know what? I had a recruit that I got because she had a scent circle, and that's all that she bought that day because she didn't know about Scentsy. And she found it almost a year later inside her glove compartment with a bunch of other stuff. No. And she said that was her sign to join. And she joined just because she still had it, and she never even used it. But she, I don't know, just because it had my label. But anyway, so that's how I label them. And my room sprays, I put the label on the
oh, that's
top.
A good idea.
I just wrapped around it. But then I also thought, well, what if they lose the top, because I always lose tops to things. So I kind of like Bree's way of doing it too, but yeah.
That's awesome. As far as the layers wait, no, it's not layers. The Scentsy Clean products, sorry. It's late, I'm telling you. Let me grab mine real quick. I'll show you. Well, and again, same thing. It's going to get thrown away after it's used, but it's nice to know that it's on there. So like with my washer whiffs, I put it on the side of this little guy. They look different now, but that's what that one looks like. This is the Scentsy Fresh. I just put it on the bottom, kind of in line with this other line, so it looks nice. You can put it on the side right there, though. Same with the laundry liquid. I put it in the same spot, just right there on the side, which makes it nice. And I actually, I do open them up. I rip off the package because I cannot stand having a bag with 2 things in it and handing it to someone. So I actually take it out of the bag, poke a hole in the top, and put the pump in it so that they don't have to do that. Because I don't know, I'm OCD like that. So that's product labeling. Any other products that you guys can think of that we missed maybe?
I do like the skin. Am I unmuted? Yeah. I have the skincare.
Okay.
This is a brand new one. It just came in today. But I always label across the bottom. Okay. Usually I cover that up. But yeah, it just came in. And then, let's see. My cleansing bar, not soap, cleansing bar.
Have you used that before?
Oh, girl.
I haven't used mine.
Somebody's posted that it was a conditioning bar and it's not a soap bar. And I
moisturizing bar.
Moisturizing bar. And I said, so I've been washing myself for 2 weeks with lotion. And she's like, no, it's a cleansing bar. It cleanses.
I was like, technically, where are you? Are you not educated on your product? Seriously.
That's funny. Okay, so anything else as far as labeling? Like your diffusers, do you label your diffusers? I don't have one on me.
I put it under the lid.
Okay.
You lift the lid up and I just put it right under it. I don't label I haven't labeled the actual.
The actual diffuser. You could put it on the bottom of it. Kind of like the element warmers where the bottom is like plastic. You just slap it right on there. That's what I do with mine. As far as oils, I don't label my oils because they're so little that you can't. Well, this is a little one, but they're super little. So I haven't figured out. I thought a circle label on the bottom would be neat, but I haven't mentally and computer-wise figured that one out yet. It's always a thought, but never an action sometimes.
You could do one of those. What are those? Like a Q code thing on the bottom of them.
Oh yeah, you could do that one. That would be a good idea.
QR code, is that what they're called?
Yep. I like
That's
that.
what I was thinking too. I don't, because you cover up anything. If you have any of our labels, it covers everything on them.
Yeah. Right.
So I put them on the side of the box, but like I toss the box as soon as I open it.
Right. We see you, McKenna. Okay. So on here it talks about order forms a little bit. So let's talk about those. I just had a customer come over. She's an old time customer, like one of my best friends, but this is the order form. I did not write anything out because she took it from my room, like from my office. But there is something that I have to order on there. So I always, if there's something that I have to order, I highlight it if I'm not at a party. If I'm at a party, I'm ordering everything new. So I'm going to have, this person's order, and it's just going to have their information. I'm really bad at when they're at my house because they're returning customers at that point. So I don't need to get their emails again or their address. Sometimes I'll jot down their number just in case I don't have it. But I always put their name, their phone number, their address, their email address for sure, because every month Scentsy sends out a newsletter. It just went out today. Is today Wednesday? Yeah, today. And it has a ton of information. So that's a great opportunity for you to have this free marketing to go to them with you just getting their email. There's lots of codes that you could learn, but you don't need to learn them. The main thing that you want to know are the combined and saves. In your catalog on page, anybody know it off the top of their head?
60.
That, Shauna.
No, Veronica.
Veronica. Page 60 and 61. It has all of these great combined and saves. This is what you really want to focus on because you have people that'll come to you and they'll be like, oh, I just want to get 1 bar. Well, you could get 3 bars for 14. It saves you $1. Or you could, if they're just saying, oh, I just want 4 bars, well, that's $20. So you might as well get 2 more for $5, right? So this upsell idea is really beneficial when you use this. I try never to sell anything outside of these packages because the packages get them the best deal. So there's a few things terminology-wise that you'll want to know. 6-pack, 6-PK is like the most popular one you'll ever need to know. But as far as the other systems where you're getting a warmer in bars, there's the Scentsy system, the companion system, and the Perfect Scentsy. Those 3 are the best way to get a warmer. I always try and upsell people to say, oh, well, you want to get 2 warmers? Okay, well, we're going to do the 2 warmer and 6 bars because that's going to save you $10 to $15 depending on which warmers you choose, right? So you definitely want to use this to your advantage when you're ordering that. So if you look, well, none of these have warmers. But on here, over here on this left side, well, it might be your right side, but it's on the left side of the order form. There's a quantity number. So you're going to put how many of whatever they're getting, And then the code, the product code would be like a 6-pack, right? I put a 6-pack. And then I would write whatever scents they would want. I would write each of them out. We used to have like 3 letters that you could use, like PMK is pumpkin roll, BAP is baked apple pie. They don't do that anymore. You just type in baked apple pie and it's going to come up. And then unit cost, total cost. Unit cost is just for 1 6-pack, and then the total cost would be, okay, they got 2 of them, so it's going to be 50. And then you subtotal it, and then I never charge shipping to customers unless it's being directly shipped to them. So if you have customers, like if you're just starting and you have a bunch of people coming over in the next week that are going to order, you want to lump that together and put it as a party and get free shipping. Because if you don't, they're going to have to pay $8 to ship it, at least $8. And then you figure out your tax. You just do your subtotal times point whatever your tax rate is. Like mine's 8.75, so I go times 0.875, and that gives me the tax. And then I add them together, and then there's my total. So the order forms can be super easy. You just got to make sure that you write stuff down so that you know what you're doing. Do you guys do anything different with your order forms as far as like keeping track of people's stuff, or I don't know?
Meg Mayhem just posted in our group about she does when she orders, she goes through and double checks it, and she puts a star by each one after she orders it.
That's great.
Well, she used highlighters. Like I think it was like a green highlighter if it needs to get ordered, a pink, and then she go over it with a pink highlighter if it was there and ordered, if it was completed. And she had a filing system for it. So it was kind of neat to see that, you know, come up with your system.
Yeah.
And be consistent with it, and it will really help you stay organized in your business.
That's good. I like that. Because as you are in the business longer, you're going to start to build up your inventory even with your launch party. You're going to have a bunch of hostess credits that you're going to get free and half price items that you'll build up your inventory. So you'll have stuff on hand that you'll be able to turn around and sell for retail, even though you got it for half price. So that's beneficial. But you'll definitely want to keep track of what is coming and going, just so that you know, like, okay, all this stuff was the stuff that I got for free. Okay, so this can just go into my inventory of stuff that I have to sell on hand. Because you're going to have customers that are going to call you and be like, hey, I need a birthday present for my friend. What do you have? Oh, I've got this, 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 and that. And so then you have it right there for them to take, and they can go deliver a fabulous birthday present. And even if you're super nice and you want to gift wrap it for them, that's always something that they would probably love.
Lindsay, do you know if they have, I haven't ordered order forms in a long time, but the shipping on the bottom of the order forms, have they changed that and updated it? Or is it
look, my recent ones? Yeah, so it says here at the bottom, can you see it? It says US 200 plus free. You can't even see that, can you?
So they've updated it?
Yeah, they have updated it. I'm still working on some old ones. This one's updated too. But yeah, it's 200 and up.
Okay.
Is free. So that's your order forms. The other thing to talk about is when you've got all your stuff come in the order, you'll have this little piece of paper. Do any of you have it on hand? It's the little white one that has all the product that's in the order.
Mm-mm.
I might have one in my trash. Nope, I don't. Anyway, it's just a little like sticker that has a list of all the product that is in your order. The system that Scentsy uses at the home office is pretty flawless. So you don't necessarily have to double check it, but if you want to, you can. I used to check it all the time, but that was back before they had to scan every item and they weighed it so they knew if everything was. It doesn't happen very often that something's missing. I haven't. Oh, there it is. Veronica got one. Good job, Veronica. Thank you. But it'll show you. Okay, you ordered one of these bars, or you ordered 2 of these bars, and I've had it happen a number of times where I think I actually ordered 2 of those, and then because I have this customer that ordered 2, but I screwed up. I messed up, and I actually only ordered 1. And so I have to go back and look, and I'm like, okay, that's a great place to look. And then also in your workstation, in your order, you just click on the order number, and it'll show you what you ordered. And so then I'm like, okay, I messed up. I need to reorder whatever I missed, or maybe I have it on hand. So it's always good to double and triple check your orders when you're entering them so that you make sure you don't miss anything. So when you get the order in, I always label everything. I mean, put all the bars out on your table, put a label in every bar, kind of all the labeling that we talked about. But then bagging your products is also a great opportunity to just load that bag up with marketing materials like Bree was mentioning earlier, where you're going to put your host and your join brochure. You're going to put maybe the new scent and warmer of the month little flyer, even a little.
And honestly, when I was first starting, I didn't purchase any of those things because John was not working, my husband, and we were living just on my Scentsy income. So it was just a half sheet of typed stuff like, hey, want to post a party, or, want to host a party, da-da-da. I just put the information on a half sheet with their order form, thanking them for the order. I kept it really simple. Like now, Scentsy has made this flawless. They've streamlined my work, so I don't have to. And, for a couple bucks every month, I can toss those in with them. But in the beginning, I didn't I didn't want anything to stand in the way of me getting that information to them. So even if it was a handwritten thank you note in there, like, hey, if you ever want to host a party, I love referrals, or something, just to remind them you'd love a booking off of off the party too.
That's good. I like that. Because you don't have to go buy all this stuff. I mean, we've mentioned a ton of things, and you can make your own labels. You can, like Bree mentioned, write up a little thank you note and just print it out and cut it into a square and put it in the bag. You can just get some cute little curling ribbon or some nicer ribbon to tie around the bag that comes in the bag that comes in your order when you put the product in it. I really love packaging the hostess's order though, because that saves them from doing it. Have you ever hosted a party for a company that you had to do it? I have. It was really annoying because I didn't know anything. I didn't know what that was. I didn't know what this product number was. I was like, I don't even know what this is. What did they order? So then I'd have to call the friend that ordered, what'd you get? And they would tell me, oh, I got this. And oh, that? Okay, got it. But it was just a hassle. So with our stuff, there's just so much of it, right? And there's so many more little pieces with the bars that it's good to just, for you to do that for the hostess as a thank you, and then take it to them, and then they can deliver it. Like, that's what I do. My hostess delivers it to the customer because I'm not going to run around and meet all our friends when she's going to see them at pickup at school or whatever, right? But doing that for sure is definitely something that people appreciate for sure. Anything else you can think about the party area?
I think the biggest thing is just to label, because there's so many people, like you might have the relationship with the hostess, but the customers are going to forget your name. They're going to forget who you are, but they won't forget if you label everything. Because the biggest downfall that I've ever had with my business is when I've forgotten to label, and then I have a customer who can't follow up with me, who has a problem with a product once it's arrived, something, they feel bad talking to the hostess, instead they'd rather come straight to me and say, hey, this isn't working. And I could say, oh, actually, there's this other piece you might have missed in the box, or whatever. So I think a lot of it is just, when in doubt, do not forget. You can never over label anything. Like, even if, like the warmer, like you say, there's 5 pieces of thing in every warmer. If you're labeling the outside and every piece of material inside plus the bottom of the warmer, like, hopefully there's something that will catch their eye too.
Yes, for sure.
One thing I do at the end of a party, that since we have their order forms that has their phone numbers, I'll text each customer and say, I've dropped off your orders with your host is free. If you have any issues or didn't like a scent or whatever the case may be, please save my number. And if you ever need anything else, I'd love to be your Scentsy consultant. So that's another way that they can get my number.
And even customers that call you, like even if you have friends that are calling and coming over after they order, like just shooting them a quick text, like, thanks so much for coming over today. I hope you love your new stuff. Let me know if you have any problems with it. Like that's such a great thing to do. So this launch party that you're going to have, ideally you're going to have it in your first 15 days because Scentsy has this shooting star incentive for you that if you sell $500 of Scentsy PRV in your first 15 days, you can order the Shooting Star Enhancement Kit. It's a product kit worth $295 and you can get it for $200. So it's a great way to build up your inventory. You also get a Shooting Star charm or pin, which is fun. So on your back of your little Welcome to Scentsy thing, there's a little tracker for that. The other thing at the bottom is the Sensational Start Goal Tracker. This is a 90-day tracker. Sorry, not 90, 70 days. So you have 2.5 months-ish, where you're going to track. There's 3 levels. There's a level 1, which consists of selling $1,250 in PRV or sponsoring 3 active consultants. 3 active means they have to go active in selling $150. Level 2, you either sell $2,500 in PRV total and you earn it, or you can do $1,250 in PRV and sponsor 3 active consultants. Level 3 is you reach 5,000 PRV or 2,500 and sponsor 6 active consultants. So there's 3 different levels that you can do, and it has a great little tracker that you can just bump it up and see where you're at. And when you get to your 5,000, you've hit that mark. And with each level, there are different incentives that you'll get. It doesn't show them on there, and I can't remember. I believe they're product credits, right? They're still product credit.
And the lapel pin? How do you say
Lapel pin.
Lapel pin.
Lapel pin. Or can you do the charm too, or is it just the lapel pin?
I think it's just the pin. And
okay. Yeah, that's right. So depending on which level you get, the product credit is based on that level. Okay. So if you hit level 1, it's like 50. It's 50
for level 1, 125 for level 2, and 200 for level 3.
Oh wow, it's bumped up. Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome. I started off right, but I wouldn't have jumped to 125 that fast. But okay, that's cool. It's not on here. I'm surprised it's not on here. Anyway, this is a great little tracker for you to use to keep track of it. Because it's definitely something that's achievable. If you have a party, your launch party, hopefully you're going to sell $500, right? So you'll get your first 15 days, which is great. And at your launch party, you're going to talk to your friends that are there, and they're most likely going to do a home show for you. I had one of my recruits in the fall. She did a launch party, and I went to it. Erin, I'm going to call her out. And she had a great turnout. She had a ton of friends come. And we probably booked 4 or 5 parties right there at her launch party. They were different friends from different groups. And so it was a great opportunity for her to ask them to host a party. And people, you'll be surprised, people are going to be very willing to support you in your new business venture. They're going to want to help you grow and achieve more in your business than you probably think. They're just going to do it because they want to help you and support you. So
you just have to ask. Like, that's it. They're not going to be offended. And you can preface it like, hey, I would love, like, I am choosing to stay home because I just had a baby and I'd like to stay home with him for a couple years, or, you know, whatever my reason is. And I would love it if you wanted to host a party, but no pressure. If you know, if you feel like it's not a great time, that's totally fine. I just want to put it out there. Like, I'm trying to plan my next X amount of months, you know, or weeks. And most people are like, yeah, this month's not great, but could we do it next month? I'd love to help you, you know? And so, like, a lot of times, I mean, you ask, you don't usually get no. Sometimes it's just no, not right now.
right.
So if you tell them that you're booking out, like, you know what, now is not a good time. I'd love to do it in the fall for the holidays. Like, that would be something fun. Put me down to follow back up with me, you know? So you just want to put it out there and ask everybody individually. Don't send out a mass Facebook or a mass email. Like, call them up individually. It's just, yes, like, don't just send out a mass thing because they'll read it and they'll leave, you know? And so you really do want to make, it's, you know, we're in a personal relationship business above and beyond the products that we sell. It's about the connection that you make with the customers, your friends and family. Those are the people that want to help you, are the ones that you have that relationship with. And like you said, Lindsay, you start with Veronica, this really good friend that lives next door, and she's got 4 friends from 4 different groups, and you have your first 5 parties booked in your first 60 days, you know? So you really do want to build that on those relationships that you have and just be honest. This is why I'm starting the business. This is what I want out of the business. I would love for you to be at the groundwork of my business and the groundbreaking ceremony per se, you know, like one of my very first parties, to be able to say, hey, Laura Burns was my first customer, my first director, you know, like, you can say this person has followed you through and is now my top producing director who, you know, just happened to say, yeah, I'd like to help you. I love Scentsy. I'll order from you, you know.
That's
the rest is history.
And just sharing the happiness that you are so excited about your products that you have, that you just can't help but talk about it everywhere and anywhere you go. That's one of the biggest things that when I first started selling it, where I was, nobody knew about it. And so I had to do a lot of educating, where if someone were to join my team here locally, they wouldn't have to educate. They just have to open their mouth and talk about it, and people are going to buy from them because they already know the products and they love them. And they just maybe lost their consultant and they need a new one, someone to buy from. So opening your mouth and sharing that you are doing this is going to get you going places that you didn't even think would happen. You never know who on the next corner is going to be someone that wants to buy from you, or maybe even wants to join your team. You never know.
Also, branding yourself. It's the easiest thing in the world to put a car vinyl on your car, or wear a shirt that has Scentsy on it, or people see that and they'll come to you. You'll be walking down the aisle of the store and they'll walk up to you and go, oh my gosh, do you sell Scentsy? Yeah, I do actually. And then so in Flyers by Shauna, we have square photos. You can print these off for 39 cents a piece. Put your website on it and just hand them out. Anywhere you go, 39 cents a piece. That's so cheap. And then you can put your label on the back too. People have your information right then and there. And then they can go home, call you, and you can set something up. Or you can take down their information. But branding yourself opens the opportunity, because you're not going to walk around the store and talk to every single person. You're not going to be like, hey, do you like Scentsy? Hey, do you like Scentsy? You're not going to do that. But if they come to you because they see you wearing a shirt, it opens up. I have the most loyal, awesome customers from meeting them in a store. So,
and you might find yourself in the fragrance aisle. I found myself there today. I was just looking at things. And there's been times in my past 10 years that I have actually talked to someone as they're looking at products. I'm like, hey, well, I have this great product that I sell. Here's the catalog. But don't ever be caught without a catalog or without a business card. It's happened to me before, and it's really kind of embarrassing when you have to write your information down on who knows what in your purse and hand it to them. Like, shame on me. I've been there. I've done that. Don't do it. Don't be like me. Have your stuff with you so that you can just share it with them whenever the opportunity arises, because you never know. Going to the bank, when you go to the bank to make a deposit, slap a business card in there, put a sample in there. That's one thing we didn't touch on, but if you Google Scentsy samples, videos, demonstrations, there's so many different ways that you can make little samples. I'll show you mine. I just put them in a little plastic baggie and throw the name of the sample on there, and I say, smell me, warm me, don't eat me, because there's been little people that have eaten them before. Nothing bad happened, but it's just kind of gross. And I just use the little wax sample molds that Scentsy offers at the Scentsy family store. A little warmer shape. Super easy to do, and I just staple it to my business card. So something super easy, but there's so many different ways. You can just use a bar and get a butter knife and cut it up into squares. You can get a crinkle cutter. You could, what else could you do? What do you guys do for your samples?
A lot of people do the felt samples.
Oh yeah, the felt ones.
I've actually been loving the Skin and Groom samples. So I have been totally not doing wax samples and have been just labeling them and carrying them with me because they don't go bad. They don't melt.
Yeah, that's true.
They're offered by Scentsy. There's that you can give them to anybody. Hey, have your husband try this. It's a brand new product that we just launched in the last year. Yeah.
They're little.
The laundry care. I love the laundry care ones. I mean, those are what I cart with me, and I just label them, and then, yeah.
The men ones.
Mm-hmm.
But they're great.
Groom.
You know what I do with the little scratch and sniff stickers that we get with the scent of the month every month is I cut them into little squares. So then I make like little books of like 10 of them. There you go. And I punch a hole in the top, and I put a little ribbon in with my business card, and that's what I hand out. So they have like 10 different little scratch and sniff stickers because I was getting so many, and then I was like, what do I do with these? So
that's a great idea.
Yeah, so I've been getting them out there.
Cut out each warmer, so you'd have one warmer shape scratch and sniff sticker, right?
Into a square, like a little square.
So you'd have one of these in a square, and then you do it for multiple scents, and then you put them all together. I like that. Right. That's a good idea.
Hey, Lindsay, I was going to mention too, though. Do they get the list of 100 still in their kits?
Well, it talks about it. Where did it talk about it? It does talk about it on the front side, but I don't know. I think in your startup guide, there's a little book that came in your kit. I believe it's in there. So making that list of 100. Talk about that a little, Veronica.
Yeah. When I first started, I made my list of 100. I didn't get to the 100. I think I got maybe to like 60 people, and it's anybody and everybody that you know, all my contacts on my phone, and those are the people that I actually invited to my launch party. So that list has changed throughout these 6 years that I've been in Scentsy, and I always try to go back and revisit that at the beginning of a new catalog, and I add people and I take people off because some people might have become consultants or whatever the case may be, but I add to it. So now I have more than 100 people on that list, but it's a good reminder as to who I need to call back that needs Scentsy, or they always have a party for me at the beginning of every catalog. So I love that list of 100.
I love that you keep it going every 6 months. That's really important because as your business changes, as people move, new people move in, it's constantly going to be changing and growing. So that's really great that you do that every 6 months. I need to do that.
Yeah.
Good tip. I like that. All right. Anything else, ladies, that you can think of? I think
that's quite a bit of information that we've given just to start your party, start your business, rewatch this video, but start with your new consultant guide first and foremost. It kind of has everything in there. They're pretty laid out. Like Scentsy's really stepped it up a notch in what they give, but it's also available in your workstation. If you can't find it, everything that we have said is available in your workstation in your resource section. So.
And remember that you don't have to do all of the things. Like, pick and choose what's going to work for you, because if you did everything that you said, you're going to be super overwhelmed. You're going to be like deer in headlights, like I'm just done, right? So pick and choose what works for you. Do something simple, but just do something to make a little difference or impact on your business. Start some task that you're going to continue to do throughout your business that you can keep up with. But doing something is better than doing nothing, right? This is a little quote that I'm going to leave you with. I had a friend mention it the other day. It says, you do nothing, you get nothing. So that's it. If you don't do anything, you're not going to get anything. But if you do something, you're going to get something. So make an effort and do something. One idea that you got from this call, 2 ideas, 5, whatever you do. But doing something is going to get you somewhere. If you do
whatever you do it well.
That's right. Whatever you do it well. But if you do nothing, you're going to get nothing. So we hope you enjoyed the call. We bombarded you with a ton of information, but just remember that you don't have to use all of it. Pick and choose. Keep it simple. Do what works for you and what is natural for you to make your business successful. But we hope you enjoyed watching the call. And if you have any questions or concerns, you can always shoot us an email. Your sponsor, hopefully you still have their contact information. If you don't, your director information is in your workstation under your performance tab, along with your superstar director, myself. You can give us a holler anytime that you need something. That's what we're here for. So thanks for getting on the call, and we will talk to you guys next month. Thank you.